Hello, and welcome to Impossible Coin. I am Baron Bob Tepes. Thank you for podcasting.
Thank you for podcasting.
Thank you for podcasting.
I am joined by Comrade Tegan Somerset
Yes. Hello, I am here.
and Comrade Rocky Hardy.
Yeah, that's me.
Thank you for podcasting. I've been so busy since last time I've been on the show.
Oh yeah?
I can only imagine.
It
A lot
seems
going
like
on.
I do not know why, but it seems like very much in the month of October, there are many requests for Baron Bob Tepes to appear on podcasts, and I do not know why. And I try to honor these requests because I am grateful that folks would like to share in time with me.
Wait,
But
you don't know why?
I do not.
Bob, my man. You might be a victim of profiling.
Why is this?
It's like how every time there's a new Zelda game, everyone wants me on their podcast. It's very much a similar vibe, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They think you have a very specific energy that you bring especially well this season.
I mean, hopefully. I mean, you do want to be careful because if you're being typecast, like, those are hard patterns to break.
Oh.
You know, there's a big event usually near the end of October. It's celebrated worldwide. And
Is it related to workers' rights?
I don't think so, actually. I think it's mostly related to, spooky, scary things.
Oh, you mean like the crippling, destructive power of capitalism?
Well,
Yes.
maybe not that specific scary thing. I don't think that really gets celebrated at the end of October.
Oh yeah, that's really more of a end of December sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it the frequently ignored rising destructive quality to carbon emissions?
Ironically, it's more of a summer thing, but no, I don't think that's what they're reaching out to you for.
Oh. Is it the rising power of fascists in school boards across the country?
No, close though. That is a big fall thing, but that's more September. I think they're more interested in your presence because you're a vampire and it's closer to Halloween.
Wait a minute. Really?
I think so, yeah. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'd love to be wrong about this, but this feels like the type of thing that I'm right about, and I don't like being right about.
Rocky, just being very candid with you.
Sure.
This leaves me very bummed out.
I'm sorry. Well, to be honest, I don't know if that's why you're here today. I mean, honestly, Bob, it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for podcasting. And I wasn't a part of your invitation, so I don't know for sure. But if
I have an email from Brian inviting me.
Okay. If you're comfortable sharing it with us, maybe we can get to the bottom of this.
Okay, I'll read it to you.
Sure.
Bob, would love to have you on for spooky season. Brian.
Shit. That was the whole thing?
That does not reflect the email I sent to Brian telling him we should reinvite you on the show.
Yeah, and to be fair, it wasn't even anywhere near this time of year. It was like March. We were just like, hey, Bob was great. He should come back sometime. But I'd understand if in this particular scenario you wouldn't be poised to believe us. That makes some sense. At the very least, Tegan doesn't really care much for spooky things at all. So if you just want to hang out and podcast with us, that could be cool.
If you wouldn't mind, that would be nice.
Yeah, of course, man.
Thank you.
Bob, I love having you on the show.
Yeah, Bob's great.
We are friends.
Thank you.
I hope you don't think I'm infringing on you by saying thank you for podcasting as my sign off. I just become enamored with the phrase. I think there's a really beautiful gratitude to it, and I hope that you don't think I'm trying to ape anything from you or something.
No,
like that.
it's about the way that we relate to our listeners and we relate to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's it it's a reflection of the peace that we find from this kind of dialogue that we have with our listeners.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for podcasting.
Thank you for podcasting. Okay. I don't actually think we have a show document this week. If we do,
don't have it. We don't.
Okay.
I didn't make one, and you didn't make one, and I don't think Brian has made one in years. Because I think we've just been making them.
Yeah,
so.
that's fair. So we can just talk about whatever. You know what? I watched a movie that I was meaning to watch lately, and this is going to sound silly. It's pretty well documented on this show that I like rom-coms, and I got into one of the rom-coms that I like is Knocked Up. Mostly for a lot of different reasons, mostly because it doesn't follow the standard formula, and also I feel like there's like a lot more like, I guess, like sacrifice and growth on like the side of like the male protagonist that you don't normally get in these movies. And when I heard that Seth Rogen was going to do another rom-com that seemed to have a similar vibe, which was Long Shot in 2019 with Charlize Theron, I was excited to see it, but I never got around to it. It was just like on a streaming service I didn't feel like subscribing to for that particular movie, so it wasn't like urgent, but it was something I wanted to see. And in fascinating movements in media consolidation, for some reason, Long Shot showed up on Netflix, so I decided to sit down and watch it. And to be fair, all of the reviews of the film seem to be mid, and the movie turned out to be just that. Like it's funny at times, which is not something that I was worried about with it, but it didn't hit the romantic like catharsis that I was hoping for, and I was bummed out about it because I was kind of hoping for more. But that's on me, Like critics didn't really like Knocked Up anyway, so I figured it might have just been like seemed a different hat, but it just turned out to be an entirely mid movie with like the kind of like I guess silly irreverent spirit of like The Interview, which wasn't what I was hoping for. But what are you gonna do?
I mean, at least you didn't pay additional money to see it.
Yeah, that's true. I would have been very mad if I like went to a theater and like paid, and that was my experience. But I did read the reviews, and I had an idea of what I was getting into. I was just hoping for more.
Yeah, that's fair.
I thought that what Long Shot had on offer, which was primarily a retread of the film Pretty Woman, and pretty nakedly so.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Was not particularly engaging, because the film is trying to suppose the idea of essentially gender swapping the power dynamics of Pretty Woman. And the film is so confused as to how to achieve the power imbalance which is found in the film Pretty Woman that the only way they can think of making the woman so much more powerful than the male character is literally by making her president. And maybe what they should have done is slowed down and thought, gosh, if we literally have to make this character president in order to achieve the same power imbalance, then maybe this is not particularly an interesting or relatable story.
Yeah.
And it also supposes some other things based on just traditional societal beauty norms.
Sure.
Like, we are supposed to be flabbergasted that President Charlize Theron wants to have sex with Seth Rogen.
Right.
And this kind of thing is not particularly helpful. or good,
Hmm.
as near as I can tell.
Yeah.
Because the things that define sexual and romantic attraction are often not conventional beauty norms. Sometimes they play into them.
Sure.
But honestly, any kind of movie which has as a foundational part of its whole structure the idea that like someone is, not worthy of like affection based on how they look makes me kind of uncomfortable.
I
Just
hear
from
that. Sorry,
and
I didn't
oh
mean to
no,
interrupt.
go ahead, Rocky.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah, thank you for podcasting. Um, this is actually why I even have kind of a problem with the film Knocked Up, where I think we're supposed to go ha ha ha. Seth Rogen is having sex with Katherine Heigl.
So I feel differently about that. Specifically, because like in Knocked Up, it's front loaded into the film, like it's not a big moment. It's not an emotional like thing that really happens, as opposed to like the structure of Long Shot, where like it's handled like about like they don't actually like are intimate or kiss or anything like that until like an hour into the movie, where like that's supposed to be like the big emotional punch or whatever. And Knocked Up, like Katherine Heigl and Seth Rogen hook up. I kind of want to say in the opening credits, if not the first like 15 minutes of the movie. And the movie is mostly about like the fallout of their relationship and like their actual like incompatibility, not because of like how they look or anything, even though they do harp on that a little bit, but because of the lives that they lead. And the important detail is that they need to figure out what they're going to do about this unborn child. And, they wrestle with that. And I don't think there's a lot of like emotional wrestling in Long Shot, really. Like, I think Seth Rogen yells a couple times because he's angry about things. And like Charlize Theron feels constricted by the political game that she's trapped in because of course she is. And then none of that really gets resolved. And then like at the end, she's president. Poof, president. There's no fight about that. And I think that's the thing that I'm like underwhelmed by. I expected them to like, kind of deal with their situations a bit. And they didn't really. They just kind of chose each other and the movie decided that was fine. And I guess sometimes that's nice, but that's not what I wanted to see out of this movie.
Yes.
Hmm.
Goodness. Uh, well, I'm sorry that the film fell short for you.
Yeah,
I
what are you
think
gonna
that we are best suited in this world by approaching each piece of art with an open heart and sincerity and saying, I want to give this movie or this video game or this TV show or this book or this anime, whatever it might be,
do?
a sincere shot and greet it with an open heart, because what if it speaks to me? What if I relate to it? What if this is a thing which allows me a deeper understanding of self?
Hmm.
So I am sad to hear that it fell short for you.
I hear that. But, you can't win them all. I'll find something else to do.
True enough. Goodness.
What have you been up to, Teeks?
Nothing. Watching anime, being busy. The usual. The
Fair
things, the
enough.
stuff.
True.
I went to a wedding last night. It was good.
Hell yeah.
I was in the wedding. It wasn't mine, but I was in it.
For sure.
Thank you for bridesmaiding.
Yeah, I did a great job too. I showed up fully prepared. I did a bunch of little side errands for the bride. I made sure her husband didn't see her before the wedding by running a ton of interference. The usual. All the good things. And I'm the only bridesmaid who managed to keep their shoes on all night. So professional, if I do say so myself.
I actually have a question about wedding superstitions.
Uh-huh.
So, like, is there like actual lore behind the groom not seeing the bride before like the wedding, like in the dress? Like, I know it's like frowned upon. I have vague like memories of like a curse or something, but I don't actually know what the deal is.
It's supposed to be bad luck if he sees her before she's being officially presented. Is the thing. There's a lot of like weird wedding superstitions that are like not actual superstitions. Like everyone who goes like, oh, you wear white because it's purity. Like, that's not it. White was expensive. White was expensive wedding fabric and didn't really become popular until after Queen Victoria's wedding. Where she wore a white dress, and everyone was like, oh, so the queen can wear a white dress. So if I can keep a white dress clean and buy a thing that I only need to wear once for one occasion, then I too have really made it in the world, you know? Like, it's not a purity thing. Also, originally, all the bridesmaids were supposed to dress identical to the bride, to confuse evil spirits that may try to infiltrate the wedding and ruin the marriage itself. The idea was they would like put the bad wedding fortune on the wrong person, sort of thing.
Well,
and also, confused. Your best man is supposed to, if anyone objects to the wedding, they're supposed to fight that person for you so that you can still get married while the fight is going on.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. So
that's so sick.
Let your best men know that they are the person who is supposed to do the duel in your honor.
I kind of want to stage a duel at this point. Just so like Hennessy has someone to fight.
Yeah, do like a lightsaber battle or something. That'd be cool.
Oh my god. That would
be fun.
It could be fun. It'd be absurd, but I'd have a lot of fun assuming that I still get to get married at the end. I think that could be cool.
Yeah, you could get married. I mean, you have to talk that over with your bride, but you know.
Right, yeah. Huh.
If it's fake and totally staged, it could be cool, but you know, that's the idea. Is like if someone tries to come in and like derail your wedding, your best man is supposed to step in.
Damn.
As your like bodyguard and bouncer.
Brian, did you know about this? Did you know about the bodyguard, bouncer, best man thing? Oh wait, Brian's not here. Fuck.
Yeah,
Bob?
that's right. Bob.
Sorry, Bob. I'm so sorry.
Guys, I think I'm going to go.
Aww. Bob, I hope it's not something I said.
It's okay, Rocky. I just think it's time for me to go.
Okay.
We'll make a plan to have you on again in the spring, Bob.
In the spring, it'll be great.
Does that sound good?
It does.
I will send the email this time. I promise.
I shall go now and slumber.
Okay.
Rest up, cuz.
Have a good nap.
Thank you for podcasting.
Hey, y'all.
Hi, Brian.
Brian, what the fuck, man?
Jesus, Rocky.
No. I heard from my friend Bob Tepes that you kind of shoehorned him in here as a spooky, like, intro thing. He's more than a vampire, man. He cares about things. He's not here to amuse people during October.
Having him on for the fucking Halloween episode. Like, this was like an actual conversation the three of us had.
I said I'd love to see Bob. He feels like we profiled him for this shit because he's been getting all these calls from other people, and that's not our fault, okay, for sure. But I don't want to be a part of that, all right? Bob Tepes is a friend of this podcast, and I want him to feel that way. We need to make this right.
What the fuck? So
that's what I
said. I literally did as I was told, Rocky. I was told.
As you were told? Come on, man. I understand that this is indicative of a larger issue, and I'm not mad just at you. I'm mad about the world that has made our friend feel less than. And I'd like your help in making that right. I apologize if I pointed more of my intensity at you than I needed to.
I mean, okay. Let's be
Brian accepts apologies in the form of whiskey, right? and you accept apologies in the form of sushi. So I think just like a goods trade is in order here, and then it'll all be good.
That might be fine. I'm okay with that.
I'm going to say something here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say a thing, and I'm worried about how it's going to go.
Sure.
But let's be fucking real here. He's a vampire.
Yeah, he's a vampire.
Yeah. He's a vampire.
This is what I'm saying, man. Bob Tepes may be a vampire, but that doesn't make him a monster. And the way that he came onto the show was wounded, as a wounded monster. And that's not a way to treat a friend. And I know we didn't specifically do that to him, but he feels like we're a part of it. And maybe we can dissuade him from that notion. All right, that's something that we can do. And maybe it's more in his head than out here, but I don't know if that's true. All I know is that I want our friends that show up on the podcast to feel like friends, to feel like they're in good company, that appreciate them for their gifts and not just for what they are.
What, like their gifts? Like their animated images?
No, man.
No, GIFTS.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because Rocky has enunciation problems doesn't mean you have to point it out on the show.
I'll put the T at the end of it.
I think
It's
it was
fine.
a fair question because, like, I, Brian, personally make a lot of gifts.
That's true. I do appreciate them.
Yeah, like that's a thing I do. So I guess what I was like, oh, he does that too. So I hope my confusion was sincere. But yeah, I mean, he's a fucking vampire, y'all. Like, what? I mean, he drinks blood. Okay.
Sure.
I mean,
not all vampires drink blood.
Also, Tegan's a vampire. She's been here. You want to not treat her as a friend?
Am I not your friend?
Tegan
is this how I find out I'm not your friend?
Tegan is not a fucking vampire.
Okay, sure. You say that. I spent all last night competing with a DJ Energy vampire.
Oh, no.
And you're here to tell me I didn't do my job right. Sure. Get you a DJ who understands the flow.
And not one who gets the party started.
In the middle of night. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Not one who saves all the good songs for like 9:30 at night like a fool.
That's how they keep the party going. That's what happens after getting the party started. They have to keep
right.
Yeah.
It was an open bar, and there were not enough drunk white people on the dance floor. Like, it was a mess. It's fine. It was a good wedding overall, though.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I did. I also play video games, but not like a lot of new video games. Because I had to do other things this week. I have to pick a new game to stream. I'm not doing a very good job of picking a new game to stream. I'm stuck between 2 games right now.
Okay.
Well, really 3, but one's a cop-out, you know?
Sure.
You know how that goes? Where you're like, I could just play this. And it'd be fun. Like, I'd have fun. But, like, that's not how always the vibe, you know?
Okay.
I don't know if I should play Silent Hope or if I should play Bear and Breakfast. You know? This is a problem. I was excited for both of these. When we saw, I talked about Silent Hope when when it showed up on the Nintendo Direct, because I was like, this is a game that's gonna be great and no one's gonna play it. So like, I made sure I got myself a physical copy because I was like, no one's gonna play this game.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play Silent Hope, so that makes sense to me.
I know it's a rogue like action RPG game.
Okay.
You play as there's 7 different silent protagonists. No one can speak for reasons. And you have to go into a dungeon with each of the characters, and the dungeon changes depending on which character you choose to go into the dungeon.
Okay.
And you get resources in the dungeon, bring them out of the dungeon, and the other characters who didn't go in the dungeon use the resources that you get to like upgrade your weapons and upgrade your magic and research like new potions that you can use and that kind of stuff. And then Bear and Breakfast is just like cozy. Bear runs a bed and breakfast in the woods And no one thinks it's weird because he's got a hat on, so that means he's a man. You know? And it's like, these are very different. I don't know what would be best. I don't know if I should, like, maybe I should do Bear and Breakfast on stream because it's, like, simpler, quote unquote. And then I should, like, run through one round of Silent Hope and, like, see how it plays first. And then, like, my cop-out is, like, I can just play Horizon Zero Dawn, the beginning of Horizon Forbidden West, because I just finished that last week on stream and it was really good and I had a lot of fun. And what if I just played more games with Aloy in them?
Me good.
The struggle is real. I feel like I play a lot of long form games on stream, and I don't know if that's good. You know?
People do it. I think it's chill.
People do it. People do it a lot. But I don't know. Is it better to get through more games, or is it better to just thoroughly go through one game? I'm uncertain. This is like the philosophy I'm stuck at, and that's where I'm like, I don't know what's better. And also, like, I want to pick up Storyteller because that's out now. The game that we looked at when 2 years ago or something, when like all the bundle came out.
That sounds familiar.
Just demos, and also A Little to the Left. You know?
A Little to the Left is pretty small, right?
Yeah, that I think that should be a short one, kind of like how Unpacking was. Like it's very much it's like the same game but slightly different. And so I kind of want to do that. I don't know. I'm uncertain. There's too many games. What do you guys think?
I think do what feels good.
Oh, that's not helpful. They all feel good.
Okay.
I'm not going to play a game I hate on stream. That'd be a nightmare.
Fair enough. I don't think there is an optimal strategy here. I think if you want to play long form games and that center around characters that you find interesting and replaying them to find, you'll probably find new interactions that people probably wouldn't see on a first playthrough. And that isn't a problem by any stretch of the imagination. But also, if you want to put a spotlight on games that you think people will likely not interact with to show people like their merits and whatnot, that's also valid. And in addition, if you just want to play small, comfortable experiences and cultivate a vibe, that is also a thing that does well on Twitch. I don't think there is a thing that you need to do in this particular scenario. I do think any of these choices are good.
Good, yeah.
And I think all of them can be great. And I don't think any of these choices are actually better than the other ones. So it simply just makes the most sense to pick something that's fun and run with it.
This is not helpful. I appreciate it, though.
Yeah. I'm going to hold that.
We've come to the same conclusion that I did, which is, I don't know, you should play what you want. And the answer is, yeah, but I don't know what I want to play.
And we're going to make a Wheel of Fortune wheel real quick so that we can spin a wheel to decide what video game Tegan's going to play because she's fine with all of them.
I'm fine with all of them.
Tegan, the only answer to this is a duck race.
A duck race! Oh my god, we need a duck race. I don't know why I don't let all of my game choices be decided by duck race, actually. This is brilliant. Let's do a duck race. Make me a duck race. Build me a race full of ducks. I can't wait to see them. While Brian is building the duck race, I'll tell you what happened in Horizon Forbidden West, the Burning Shores DLC that I finished last week. It was so good.
Hell yeah.
I knew I was at the end, and I stayed up till midnight finishing it. And then the entire time I was up, I was just like, I want there to be more of this. We fought a Horus, which if you don't remember the world of Horizon Zero Dawn, or Horizon period, end of sentence, Zero Dawn is the first game. It is Earth in the far-ish, quote-unquote, future, where sometime in the past, machines overran humanity and completely destroyed the world. And then a project called the Zero Dawn was set up to try and fix the world after the machines finished destroying it. They knew there was no hope for them, and so they were just like, we're going to try and have a big computer program run an AI and like fix the world and then repopulate it with people and plants and regular earth life form like when it's set. And we spent the first game like figuring out how that worked, and now the second game was fighting the rich billionaires who bajillionaires, essentially quadrillionaires, whatever, too much money, who flew away to space when the earth was dying instead of helping work on the Zero Dawn project. And now they're coming back because they're like, oh, Earth is fixed. Unfortunate. We don't want Earth to be fixed, actually. You guys don't... We're having a miserable time in space, so you guys don't get to have a good time on Earth. That's essentially, like, the vibe. And they're called Zeniths, and we beat the first one who came down, who was, it turns out, Elizabeth Sobek's lover, maybe, until they ended up on different projects, and then she went to space, and Elizabeth stayed on Earth and died. And now Aloy's there, and Aloy is made of Elizabeth Sobek's, like, she's a genetic twin to Elizabeth Sobek. But it turns out the Zeniths had some of Elizabeth's DNA also, and they made their own version of Elizabeth Sobek, but her name is Beta, and she was essentially like abused to the point of cowardice until she met Aloy and was like, no, I can be brave too. And then we overthrew them together, and it was great. And so now Beta and Aloy, A and B, are like working together. Very good, right? So this was another Zenith came to Earth, and he was trying to repower like a ship, essentially, so that he could leave. He was going to take some people and leave Earth. And he came to Earth to like throw off the like cluster, essentially, the collective evil consciousness of all the mad billionaires. Like, it's sent from him. So he came to Earth and he was going to grab some people, and he was going to dip again.
Okay.
And we made sure he failed. He tried to influence the Quen, which were a group of people who like sort of understood technology. They had like beta versions of the Focus, essentially, so they could like read some of the technology, but not all of it. Yes, Brian.
Hi. Okay.
Hi.
You
put your hand up.
I need ducks for this duck race.
Oh, you need ducks for the duck race?
Yeah.
Okay, the ducks are going to be Silent Hope, Bear and Breakfast, Horizon Zero Dawn, and a little to the left. / Storyteller. Because I'll probably play both of those, because I think they're both short.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ducks. Okay. He's trying to influence the Quen into like joining him, and basically what he's looking for, and this is weird, he's looking for someone who can act, because one of his big claim to fame, in addition to his stupid like own space program, because every billionaire wants to have a space program, was that he made hollow films, and specifically, totally not Jurassic Park, the hollow film, where his wife starred as an actress, as an archaeological expert who would like go back in time to the Jurassic period and like learn about dinosaurs and do cool action Indiana Jones stuff with dinosaurs, and then come back to the future, right?
Okay.
And he married her because she was an actress, and they ended up having like a messy divorce, essentially, because allegedly she was sleeping with one of his like best friends. which it turns out maybe was true, but also he was a dickhead and like married her specifically seemingly for like trophy wife reasons and not because he cared about her as a person. Right. So like, you know, she was getting her emotional needs fulfilled in an actual loving relationship. Anyway, so he's like looking for a Quen who specifically could be an actress. Despite none of these people knowing about like what acting is sort of thing, or like that's not a part of their culture that we've been exposed to, I guess. Sure. So, and he's taking them into like, he creates like a cult essentially, of these Quen, where like he leads them into like one of his old bunkers, and like he gives them like pretzels, like soft pretzels, and like fancy roast turkey, and like all these foods, and like there's an automatic drink machine, and everybody's just like, wow, the ancestors lived like gods. And it's like, well, yeah, if I had never had a proper, you know, soft pretzel, and I saw Coke coming out of a you know, fizzy sugar water coming out of an automatic fountain, like, and it was served with ice that was created on demand, I too would think they were living like gods, you know? So like, I don't blame them for being tricked. But we end up becoming allies with this girl named Seika, and Seika has been, she like kind of snuck, she didn't sneak onto the boat specifically to like for this exploration of the Quen, but she took a diviner's focus, and the diviners are like they're like lifelines to the ancestors sort of thing. They read like through the old world documents that are stored on these hard drives using their beta level focuses, and try to discern like what the people were doing essentially. But there's a bunch of stuff that they don't have access to because their focuses aren't like the final version or whatever. And also they have like password protection and stuff on them. But Ayla's focus can just get through all that stuff. So she sees everything. And so we are working with Seika, who might be kicked out of her tribe for stealing, quote unquote, this diviner's focus, like to try and get her sister back from the cult. And ultimately we end up doing it, but not before the dude, the bad guy, is like, I'm going to take your sister with me to the stars because she can actually act. And we're just like, no, ew, creepy, actually, goodbye. And we try to fight him. And he gets spooked by us naturally because we're cool. And he says, okay, well, if I can't launch my cool spaceship, because we ruined his cool spaceship with its nuclear fusion core that's spreading radiation to everywhere, we messed that plan up. So he's like, all right, well, I will simply use a Horus, which are these big, huge, like scorpion things that like, I can't explain how big these are. Like, they're so big.
Are they bigger than a car?
Yes. When we see them in the distance, it's like, you know how you can see the Hollywood sign and it's like really big, but then like you get closer to it and it's like huge, you know? This thing is crawling over the Hollywood sign and it is bigger than the Hollywood sign. Like, that's how big these things are. They're massive, destructive machines that have that have drills in their feet and guns in their tails, like giant scorpions. And they would like drill into the earth and then like break it up, like cause earthquakes and tremors to it was, oh God, these machines are so cool. Anyway. So he's trying to take us out with that. And we managed to sneak by all the like defenses because we're cool, and we overheat it. And this Zenith guy is in the machine and he panics because the machine is starting to overheat. And so he goes, I know what I have to do. And he starts piloting this thing into the ocean, and he's going to use the ocean water to cool it off. But while he's doing all that, there are a number of other like heat sinks on the machine that are having to like pop out into open air to like get some of the heat, like release the heat essentially while this thing is like sort of on fire. And so I, with my bow and arrow, I'm just shooting the heat sinks and breaking the heat sinks so that it doesn't work essentially. And he has to like submerge this thing in the ocean. And then I pry open the little hatch and I swim inside. Ha ha ha. And then I'm like, guess what, guy? I'm here. And he's like, I'm gonna electrocute you with the core of this machine. And I'm like, no, you're not, because I'm gonna jump over the electricity spikes.
Oh my God.
And then I'm gonna make the core that's behind you short circuit. And then I'm gonna kill you. And they do that, of course. And that saves the day, sort of. I mean, he's dead, which is not good. But also, his rocket doesn't go off, spreading nuclear waste to everywhere. And also, Seika's little sister is saved, which is also good. Yay! And she's like, I feel so silly. I was tricked. He was just so charming. And I'm like, I know. Narcissists are like that. It's okay. And your sister will forgive you. It'll be fine. And then Seika's like, hey, can you, like, meet me where we first hung out, because like where we first met up, because like I want to talk to you. And it was just like, okay, no big deal, I just rescued her little sister and now she wants to talk to me specifically alone where we first met. Don't overthink it. It's cool. Everything is cool. We are so cool and normal about this, right? And I'm like, oh my God, is Aloy a lesbian?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. And it turns out, yes, she is. Because Seika's like, what if I want to, like, I have to go help my people, like, get back to where we live, which is probably like around Hawaii. They're like an island people, and they like sail to California. Like, that's what they do. So like, probably around like Hawaii-ish area. She's like, I have to go help my people, but like I want to stay with you. And I had Ayla go like, but what if I also want you to stay with me? And then they kissed.
Oh yeah.
And then they kissed on screen and it was great. And then Ayla was like, I have to save the world. So like we need to revisit this in a bit. And Seika's like, yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, I'll navigate my people back and I'll let them know what's going on, and then maybe we'll come back and help you save the world. And Ayla's like, yeah, I'd like that. And then the game ends.
Well, let's go lesbians.
Yeah, but I did have the option to be like, for her to be like, no, I can't do this right now. I have other obligations, or like just be like, nah, I'm not really like into that. Like there were options to make her not heterosexual. Like Aloy is not into dudes.
Right.
She like playfully flirts with dudes, but like you can tell 100% she's not serious about the dudes at all. But she was serious about Seika. But you can have her be like very much read as like, I'm asexual, not into this, or like I just have too many other things on my mind, and like I don't want to risk being attached to somebody and then having them be destroyed. Yeah. So like I get it. But also now she's in lesbians. And it's very cute.
Hell yeah.
And that was the end, and it was very good. And that's it. That's what I've been playing.
Okay. Brian, what have you wrought?
Why are there so many what is happening? Why are there so many ducks?
Well, it helps to create drama.
Oh, okay. How many ducks are here?
There are 30 ducks.
There are 30 ducks.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think I know 30 games. That's a lie. I definitely know 30 games.
They're the ducks repeat, you see.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's multiple chances for one of the ducks I have suggested to win.
Right. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the start button.
Okay.
So we can see what these ducks do.
I see a Batman duck. I see a Kermit the Frog duck. There's a duck that's definitely a snowman who's cheating because his beak is longer than everyone else's. There's a Statue of Liberty duck. What on earth? Why? There's so many good ducks. Go ahead and hit start. I want to see him go. I mean, the Superman duck. Why is The Legend of Zelda: The Wand of Gamelon in here? That's not a game I suggested. Oh no.
It's okay. Zero Dawn's winning right now. It's fine.
I hope that one doesn't. Why is like the Faces of Evil on here? This is a crime. This is a crime against me.
Brandon Hood committing crimes. Jesus
The
Christ.
Cobra Club's in here. What is happening?
Silent Hope is still ahead. There's plenty of Silent Hopes.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. If the Cobra Club wins, I'm gonna have a stroke.
Well,
oh no, there it goes.
So there's more than one Cobra Club here.
Oh God.
There are 2 Cobra Clubs.
There are 2 Cobra Clubs.
Okay. Horizon Zero Dawn still pulling ahead. There we go. Hey, Horizon Zero Dawn. Wait, hold on. Bear and Breakfast sneaking up at the end? Bear and Breakfast?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Number 10, Bear and Breakfast wins the duck race.
Oh, one of the Zelda Wanda Gamelon was making a really big run for it at the beginning, and I was nervous. Alrighty then. Bear and Breakfast it is.
All right. So I guess Tegan's next stream game will be Bear and Breakfast. Look forward to that, I suppose.
Neato. How are y'all games going?
Service.
It's a great service.
God. Can't wait for some jack has to try to buy it and put ads on it. And it's like, fuck you, dude.
Oh my God. If Brian could make money performing duck races for other people, that could be an interesting side hustle.
I mean, he could be like the treadmill guy.
The treadmill guy?
No one knows who the treadmill guy is.
What is the treadmill guy?
There's a guy on social media. He runs live streams off of TikTok and Instagram, if I remember correctly. There are probably other places. I think I might have seen him on Twitter before. And they just have a treadmill that they put things that can roll on a treadmill on, usually like Hot Wheels cars or sometimes those wooden derby cars or whatever. And he just rolls them until they roll off the treadmill onto the floor behind it.
Oh. All right.
Yeah. And I assume that guy makes some amount of money. I don't know how much, but they do stream 12 hours a day or something. So Jesus. I feel like they're either doing it for fun or this is somewhat lucrative.
We really, we're just at the end, aren't we? I just picked that honestly, that sounds like something fucking Philip K. Dick would create as a character 40 years ago.
Sure.
He would just put toys onto a treadmill for 12 hours a day. Why are we here?
I don't know. I don't have beef with it. I feel like if it enriches the dude and there's an audience and they're able to survive, I think that's fine. I remember there was I remember I got really upset. What was it? 5-7 years ago when there was a BuzzFeed article about this professional cuddler in New York City. And they make $80 an hour. But I remember, yeah, they're a professional cuddler apparently. That's not that's what the cuddler. No, a cuddler, they cuddle with people in exchange for money.
Okay.
But I looked into the dude, and apparently, one, that's not their official title. It's just whatever BuzzFeed decided to call them. But it's adjacent to sex work. It's not exactly sex work, but the concept is the same. They provide comfort and intimacy to people. They build their own clientele. It's fully self-run business. They run it out of not their own apartment, thank God, but they rent an apartment for the business, so it's effectively an office. And they set their prices. Their clients agree to them. They have their sessions. They're mostly repeat customers. It's not a new person every day. They have all sorts of protections in place, and it seems like they put in the work to build this life for themselves. And it would be maybe something I'd be madder about if it was just something that someone lucked into or fell into or forced into. But none of those things seem to happen. They decided they had a skill and they found a way to allow it to enrich their lives. And so they do it. So I think it's okay.
I have no quarrel with professional cuddling.
Okay.
I have more of a quarrel with shit on the treadmill for 12 hours a day being broadcast on the fucking internet.
I might have exaggerated. I don't know all the details about this guy. I've just seen him around. I was like, treadmill guy's live. Shout outs. And
it's that person who rolls jars of stuff downstairs until the jars break.
Yeah, very much like that.
And that Tegan, that generates the exact same reaction.
No, I mean, I get that. I
Look,
think
all the jars have paint in them. Oh God.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, they don't film at like multiple locations. Like it's like the same like stairs or whatever, and they clean it up themselves, and it does something for people.
All that glass up between takes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's gotta be such a pain.
Maybe. I don't know. But I don't know if something works, I guess. It's like those trick shot guys, you know? Like they just kind of sit in the house and they bounce things off of things into things. They film the video, they put it online to get the ad revenue, and they survive.
Filming it, I feel like, is the biggest, the first biggest pain for stuff like that. The second biggest pain is like actually cutting together like the shots so that it's both not boring to watch you miss a dozen times, but also like emphasize how long it's taken for them to do the shot.
Right.
You know?
I don't know. I feel like it doesn't, I guess to me, Brian, it doesn't feel like a societal failure. Because it feels like these people are able to do these things, and maybe if there's some amount of coercion or like this is clearly a thing that they don't want to do and they feel like they have to survive, I empathize with them, sympathize for them. But if this is just a thing that they do and it happens to make them money and they use that to, I guess, help them survive, I don't have beef with it. I guess that's where I'm at.
Nobody is choosing without like the threat of like housing insecurity and hunger to clean up piles and piles and piles of fucking glass and paint every day. They're just not. They're not. They're
okay.
Like, yeah, like I'm certain of it. Just like I think that like I think like I think that there are tickety talks that people make for fun because they bring them pleasure and personal satisfaction. I do.
Sure.
Do I think that there are TikToks that exist because somebody is like, well, this is the way that I don't fall to ruin? Yeah. And
sure.
I think that like treadmill guy, paint jar person, I think that these people are making those TikToks where they're like, well, this is how I don't die. And I think that like the fact that we have like a genre of video, which is the, well, this is how I don't die video, is sad.
Okay. No, I get that. I guess that's the difference. I'm not convinced that this is how I don't die video. I'm not denying their existence. I'm just not sure that that's what I was looking at when I saw these things.
It could be more of a like, this is like one of these brought me joy, and obviously it's brought enough other people joy that like maybe this is how I spend my weekends for a little bit.
But again, I don't have all the facts. I don't know for sure. Brian may very well be right, but I'm not convinced either.
Jeez.
Okay. Brian, I want to ask you about something.
Sure, hit me.
There's a film that made its way to Hulu. It's a horror film. It's exceedingly silly. It's called Slaughterhouse. Have you heard of it?
Heard of it. I've seen it.
Okay. What do you think? For people who don't know, because I want to do this first before we get into it. Slaughterhouse is are you comfortable calling it a B horror movie? A horror B movie?
Yeah, sure.
It's a horror B movie where the monster is a murderous sloth that is poached from its habitat and falls into a life with a bunch of sorority sisters, specifically under the care of a young freshman who wants to run for sorority president. But now that the sloth has gotten a taste of blood, it is killing all the sorority sisters, and the movie is about that. The sloth itself is a puppet that is managed throughout the film. It does a lot of very silly things, and it's not really meant to make a lot of sense, but it's a good little horror movie in my experience. Brian, what did you think?
Did you watch it, Rocky?
I watched it yesterday, yeah.
Okay, all right. Slaughterhouse did not wind my clock.
Okay.
Let me pull up my old letterbox review of Slaughterhouse.
Sure.
See how did I put it?
I love that you have the reviews on hand. I feel like that's a really good like memory refresh when you watch so many movies, you know?
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Okay, here is my review of Slaughterhouse, which I gave 1 star.
Okay.
I said the crux of the jokes in this film is ha 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 ha. Teenage girls exist and are struggling to find their identities, and the things they find comfort in are stupid. Also, puppet! Exclamation point.
Also, puppet.
Okay.
And I
can see
used
that reading.
the following hashtags: hashtag horror, hashtag boring, hashtag slasher, hashtag dumb, hashtag sexist.
Okay.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. I'll say this: it's a good fucking puppet. They got that going for it.
It is a good puppet.
It's a good fucking puppet. I like that little slothy cute. But like it really seemed to like a lot of the for me like the really the core of the film to be like ha 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 the struggles that young women face to find their identity are amusing and stupid. And like maybe oof. All right, now here's the part where I'm going to sound like I'm just like really up my own ass. Maybe if like I was more cynical, like that would like work for me. And I'm Rocky. I'm not here to say that you're cynical. I'm just saying that like maybe like having that read on it. If that was like if I thought that was the read of the film, and I was cynical like so I'm saying that like because obviously you didn't have that read. You didn't go like this is the crux of the film,
Right.
But if that is the read of the film that I had, and I was cynical, then I can be like, yes, let them suffer. But like that didn't work for me. I also feel like there's a certain amount of like cynicism toward the audience in the film.
Sure.
There was earlier this year. There was quite a bit of success that happened for a film directed by Elizabeth Banks called Cocaine Bear. And it seems like after Cocaine Bear, we have been like inundated with like a series of like very, very silly animal mayhem horror pictures.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had like Cocaine Bear and Meth Shark and now Slaughterhouse. Like these films that are like rushing to like cash in on the success of Cocaine Bear, being like oh man, like it's the season for like silly animal horror. And like and for my money, animal horror is at its best when what it is about is like the hubris of humanity in the face of the threat represented by nature. For example, like Mayor Larry Vaughn keeping the beaches open in Jaws because he just doesn't he can't account for a world where he closes the beach, even though that's the safe thing to do. And in Slaughterhouse, there isn't a lot of that.
I disagree, but go on.
Do you think that the sloth is an understood existential threat before it starts murdering people?
No, I don't think that. However, I do think that there were several people in the film that preached caution about the sloth that was ignored, and then characters started dying.
Okay, all right. All right, I'll buy that. And maybe it's just some of the other qualities of the film that are like deadening that to me.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I don't think it's. I said it's a good little film. I did say that, but I don't mean that it's like the pinnacle of art or like articulates something that speaks to the human experience that well.
Yeah.
I think it was a silly slasher fic to that posits an incredulous situation.
Yeah.
And like I'm not gonna be up late at night thinking about this puppet, really. That's not gonna be my experience. But I had fun watching it. And I think there were a lot of like sight gags that were very silly. Not necessarily like pointed or like, like satirical, really. Like I think it was attempting satire and it didn't do it that well, and that was funny. But I don't think it's the things that I liked about it were really that intentional. But I had fun anyways.
I've got a movie on the Hulu. I thought you were going to go another place when you said the Hulu or a movie on Hulu. I've got a movie on my to-do list.
Okay.
Called The Mill.
Okay.
Which seems to be Saw meets Office Space.
For sure. Yeah.
And I'm like, that seems dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's see here. But as it is spooky season, let me take a look in my diary to see if I can recommend to people. For folks who are hungry for a little bit more on Hulu, something I might recommend, but I do recommend with this with caution and various like trigger warnings. Trigger warnings being like like assault, coercion, gaslighting. There is a documentary about Russ McKamey's haunted house, McKamey Manor, called Monster Side, America's Most Extreme Haunted House. This guy's a fucking monster. It should belong in prison. And like the documentary about the way he runs his haunt experience is very good. Let's see here. What else we got going on? New movie came out on Shudder yesterday called Night of the Hunted. It's a solid skip, friends. Solid skip. Which is a shame because I think that like the essential premise of the film is like very interesting, which is like woman walks into gas station late at night, and then is like pinned down by a sniper while inside the gas station.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, like see, that's very unpleasant and like also distinctly American. Like I wish more films would like contend with like the like essentially like the society that we've created, like America's free access to guns. And so like I was hoping for more, and like in the movie, the sniper has left a walkie-talkie in the gas station, and he like delivers a bunch of like rambling rants about like wokeism and such into the walkie-talkie. And I think that like by making the sniper like a like cartoon conservative person, like it makes it like very very easy for it makes it easy for like a left leaning viewer to just like say watch the movie and go like, oh well, oh. And I'm like, all right, come on, like like oftentimes these people are cartoons, but like just turning this into like this like cinematic junk food, which is designed to like validate my beliefs, just doesn't. It's not particularly helpful. Like
sure.
Let's see here. What's something good? Let me try to find something which I would recommend to folks like enthusiastically for the spooky season. Okay, I got a pair of movies I would recommend enthusiastically for folks for the spooky season. One is a movie called Birth Rebirth, which is a like a Frankenstein myth film, and it is about this woman who is like developing a medical treatment for death.
What is that? Just not dying? Simply not dying, actually.
Or how about, let's say somebody comes down with a case of death, and then she uses her treatment on them.
Oh man, I got a bad case of the death.
Yeah, that's how. And she does, and it lots of shit goes sideways in this movie.
Well, that's kind of exciting. I like it when the cure for death makes everything go wonk. That's a good good take.
Also would recommend a movie called The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster. And it is about this is also like a Frankenstein story. And it's about a young woman whose brother is murdered, and she is convinced that death can be cured, and her trying to bring her brother back from the dead. And it is also like very powerful, very good. So I think that's a good pair of movies. Talk to Me is on VOD. Strongly recommend Talk to Me. Excellent exploration of like grief and addiction and the ways that teens relate to one another, and has a lot going on under the hood. And here, is there anything silly and light I might recommend for spooky season? Because I know that sometimes folks don't necessarily want to go for the dense, spooky stuff. I know that there are Tegans out there who are like, look, that stuff all sounds very heavy.
It just makes me want to scream a little bit, and I don't feel like screaming all the time.
Right. If you got the Apple TV, it's The Great Pumpkin. Charlie Brown is available to stream. And that's a very good time. And I like its lighthearted humor and general sense of melancholy. It's a good time. It's a good time. Or you can watch fucking Slaughterhouse. Your mileage may vary. You may not. You may follow the Rocky column, not the Bryant column, on your time with Slaughterhouse. I did watch Saw Part 10, The Ballad of El Jigsaw, last night.
Was it everything you hoped for?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Old Jigsaw made some more.
Some more puzzles?
He is the Kevin McAllister of murder. So.
You know what? Correct, actually. I feel like, okay, am I wrong? Was it that Saw came out and then escape rooms got popular? Is that what happened?
No, that sounds right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm so glad everyone wants a safe Saw experience. Thumbs up.
I just want to be able to go in and say, like, yeah, if Jigsaw trapped me, I would have been able to get out. Which,
right, exactly.
Totally misses the point. But
I'm built different, apparently.
Yeah, there it is. Everyone wants to be able to say that they're built different. I get that. But sometimes you're not, little bro. It's okay.
But like the thing is, Jigsaw's like pretty fucking straightforward too. He's just like, all right, basically you're gonna have to cut off your own foot to shove it up your own ass. Like,
yeah.
And it's all about just like being like, okay, are you willing to cut off your own foot and shove it up your own ass? Like, and if you go into like an escape room, it's like, how it is distance is measured by the king, off it must come, and where it must go, the sun does not shine. Like, and you're just like, what escape room? What? And then the guy opens the door and says, you've been in here for an hour, time to leave. Like, Jigsaw just tells you what he wants you to do, and it's all about just like deciding whether or not you have the will to do it.
I mean, I think that was like a lot of Saw's like more like poignant moments, like especially as like the series continued. But like if I remember correctly, I thought like some of the puzzles were just like, you're in this shit. This is what's happening. And like they had to like Jigsaw would definitely tell you what he wants you to do, but you don't want to do what he wants to do. And I thought like the point of like, well, I guess like there is a solution in like escape rooms and whatnot. But I thought that like the people who are trying to like feel like they're built different, like would see Jigsaw's instructions as a distraction.
Okay. And I guess to be fair, like for the original Saw Part 1, the Saw, like there's definitely like a very escape room quality to that first Saw movie.
Right.
Where like there's shit like, oh, okay, if we turn off the lights, we can see this text, and oh look, there's something hidden behind the mirror here. That shit falls by the wayside after the first movie, but like the first movie definitely has like an escape room quality to it. After that, Jigsaw's just like cut off your own foot and shove it up your own ass.
Right.
But in that first movie, there's definitely like puzzling that he wants people to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they won't do the puzzling because they're too much like in their own head about like the situation. Is that how that works?
Yeah. Oh, the first Saw's pretty good. Like he's got like two people chained up in a dirty bathroom, and he creates a situation where they should be at odds with each other, you know, based on like the situation that he's created for them.
Right.
But they try to work together until the pressure of, you know, Jigsaw's situation just becomes too much for them. Goodness. Fucking Jigsaw. That series just gets really silly. Really silly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it had the opposite effect of like you know, the Fast and Furious series, which also got really silly, but like, you know,
different.
Maybe, yeah. Well, actually, you know, maybe it's just because of the types of movies they were. Like, there's not a lot of respect that's put on horror these days, especially the horror that
I think a
survives.
fair amount of respect is put on horror these days, but definitely not for something like Saw.
Right.
Saw is like a holdover of an era where like where horror was not getting much in the way of respect, but now with stuff like the output of like A24 and Neon, which gets a fair amount of both like commercial and critical respect, where like Saw is from an era where what we had was like the annual horror cash in that would happen during like fall, but now we have like horror is something which is like routinely the only thing which is commercially successful at theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And like horror is like oftentimes like very, very like critically successful as well, with stuff like Hereditary, you know, Midsommar, Get Out. Horror has like definitely positioned itself into a point of like, you know, frequently being treated as like very, very artistically credible.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, studios like seem to not still get that, which is why they've, you know, coined the term elevated horror. Like, oh yeah, our horror is elevated horror. It's like, come on. But gosh, Saw is just like unabashedly stupid, and it seems to know that it's unabashedly stupid. Like it like the whole series seems to like be this like tacit endorsement of like fascism. Like, it's okay to oppose your will and other people's. And considering it, like this series like rose to prominence like during the US's like wars in like Iraq and Afghanistan, like that makes sense. And so for like Saw Part 10 to be Jigsaw finally takes his show on the road. It's like Jigsaw takes his whole shtick to Mexico. Like, oh no. Like we're finally there. Like the thing that was always like the subtext of the Saw films is now like actually going on, which is like Jigsaw goes to other countries and does his Jigsaw bullshit there. Yep.
Hmm.
All right, Ramblers. What else are we getting into today?
Oh, Diggs, anything you want to talk about?
No, I think I covered everything I got.
Friend, anything burning you want to talk about?
It's just a little tiny thing.
Okay.
Just a little tiny thing. I left the house yesterday for 2.5 hours.
Word.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I met up with 2 friends and went and sat outside on the patio at a microbrewery.
Ooh. Get a good seasonal brew?
I did have myself a Imperial Pumpkin Stout.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was. Thankfully, Arizona is the kind of place where you can like sit on a patio in like late October.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So, yup. But yeah, it was nice to be out in the world. That I think that's all I got.
For sure.
Rocky, I guess take us home.
For sure. Hey, everybody, this has been the Impossible Point Podcast. Thanks for hanging out. We do these, every couple of weeks. So you can check them out wherever podcasts are found. iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, not SoundCloud, fuck SoundCloud. Well, except for, the music beginning and end of the show. The music at the beginning and end of this show was created by Big Sach. You can find his work at soundcloud.com/Big Sach NJ. And also he is on Bandcamp with his band, Between Rooms. You can find it at betweenrooms.bandcamp.com. Also, I hope Bandcamp is going to be okay, because Epic definitely fucked them over for no good reason, but we'll cover that probably some other day.
We'll keep ourselves abreast of the situation, and if our kid brother, the show, moves anywhere, we'll let you know.
True. Our logo is also a t-shirt. It was designed by Lauren Moran. You can find her on Twitter at Lauren Moran. And she also has a Patreon, so check her out there. She does really good stuff, like way better stuff that we ever deserve. I'm really amazed that we got away with the logo that we have, so shout out to that. We still stream on Twitch more than a couple days a week, and Teagues is apparently going to pick up Bear and Breakfast, so look forward to that. But yeah, I think that's us. You can find us on social media, basically all of them: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and now Blue Sky. All Impossible Coin. No imposters. I promise.
Mm-hmm. None of them.
But yeah, that's us. That's the show.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out. Peace.
Bye.
Thank you for podcasting.
It's official.